Hi, my name is Vanessa Mesa. I am 24 years old, a mother of 4 children, 2 prior to my stillbirth experience and 1 after. I was 39 weeks and 5 days when I lost my son Noah Julius Rodriguez. Like I mentioned, this was my 3rd pregnancy, so going in, I knew what to expect and I knew what I had to do to take care of me and my baby's health. Being at a high risk due to my diabetes, I was well aware of all the risks, but stillbirth was never one. My sugar was very well controlled, and throughout my whole pregnancy, numerous tests were done to ensure my baby's health. All that changed on the date of October 24, 2012, as I was supposed to go in what was supposed to be a regular doctor's appointment. It was supposed to be my last doctor's appointment to prepare me for what I thought would be the birth of my son. With only 5 days left for my scheduled C-section, I go in like any regular appointments, got hooked on the monitor, and what was always so loud and strong was in complete silence. A few minutes passed by and still not a sound. The nurse then called in the doctor, and the doctor then performed an ultrasound, and that's when I heard those words: "Your baby has no heartbeat." I couldn't believe what I had just heard. With no hope at all, immediately I was given the option of either going home and waiting to go into labor myself or waiting for that scheduled C-section. Now, as you could imagine how I was feeling, I couldn't think, I couldn't talk, I couldn't believe what was going on. But I did know that I was not going to go home with my full-term baby who I was just so ready to have dead inside me. So as we go to the hospital, not only are we dealing with the heartbreaking news we just received, but dealing with just the people just staring at us, the rude staff. So as we're there waiting for a nurse to give us our room, I couldn't help but just think how I was just here exactly a week ago for an ultrasound, for my last ultrasound, basically just to give me the position of Noah and how much he weighed. And was then told that he was already 10 pounds. Now, I still had a week left, so I knew within that week he could gain a pound heavier. He could get a pound heavier. And physically, I just could not deal with that. So, as I told my doctor my concern of how big he was already, I asked maybe we could move the C-section to a few days sooner. And as he explained all the risks in doing that, as a mother, I put my needs to the side for the safety of my son. And the outcome of that was a week later, to the exact date, here my baby has died. As we're in the room, the doctors are giving me the options of either going with a vaginal delivery or going with a C-section, but will not stop insisting on all the complications I will have in any future pregnancies if I decide to go with the C-section. Now, here I'm still trying to process the thought that the baby that I've been expecting for 9 months, the baby who I've been longing for, the baby who instantly took my heart away, is dead inside me. And they're talking about any future pregnancies. I just couldn't even bear the thought. And even with all that said, I still decided to go as planned and go with the C-section. Now, just a little bit before I go into the OR, my doctor comes in. And of course, that's when we started asking him all the questions. How did this happen? Why did this happen? What went wrong? And basically all we got was, things like this just happen. And being a diabetic puts you at higher risk. Even with all the tests done, even with your sugar being very well controlled, it just happens. Okay, so if it happens, why wasn't I warned about this? Throughout my whole 9 months of pregnancy, the word stillbirth never popped up. And then, of course, he asked me if I would like to perform an autopsy on my son. And he made sure he went into detail on how my son would be cut up and open. I couldn't even imagine that. So at the time, I decided not to go with it. At 7:29 p.m., my lifeless stillborn son was delivered, weighing 9 pounds, 9 ounces, 21 inches long. As I held my lifeless baby boy's body in my hand, my world right then and there was forever changed. I couldn't believe something like this could happen. It happened to me, who from day one did everything in my power to make sure my baby was well and okay. experiencing the stillbirth of Noah has forever changed me. I will never be the same girl no more. Never. And from that day on to this date, it's just been a roller coaster of feelings. Down to feeling guilty. Feeling guilt. Why? What could I have done to save my son? To feeling angry. Why would God do this to me? To feeling hopeless. There's still to this day where I have breakdowns where I feel like I can't move on. This is it. This is my limit. I can't go on no more. To feeling alone. Even with all support from my friends and family, I still feel like nobody knows what I was going through as a mother who lost her baby. But most of all, what I felt, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's experienced a miscarriage, a stillbirth, or a loss of a child feels, I felt left in the dark. Losing a baby is probably one of the worst pains anybody can go through. And yes, just the words loss of a baby saddens a lot of people and make people feel uncomfortable. That's why it's such a taboo subject. They say 1 in 4 pregnancies a woman will lose a baby. Now, if it's that common, then why isn't there more done for us? I believe there should be more support for us. There should be more stories should be heard. More recognition should be given to us who are forced every day to go on without our babies. But most of all, most awareness. More awareness. As in October, when you wear a pink ribbon to support breast cancer. Wear blue. Add blue to it to show your support for infant and pregnancy loss. Losing Noah is one of the worst things I have ever gone through in my life. Every day is a struggle. Each passing day, it hurts a bit more. And it's something that will never go away. And I believe that's enough pain that I should have to go through. And having to keep my story to myself because lack of support or lack of funds, because it's such a taboo subject, makes my journey harder. So I'm doing this now in the hope to raise awareness. And not just breaking the silence for my beloved son Noah, but for all the babies gone too soon, and especially all who are affected by this.